Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig, and we've got some baseball action for you tonight with the 2015 Strat-O-Matic baseball set. I'm happy to have you here. We've got our randomized NUS League, continuing again for game day 14. This is the second game of game day 14. And we've got what looks to be a lopsided matchup, but with a twist. And we'll get into that here in just a minute. Tonight it will be the Atlanta Braviary. They are sitting second in the league at 9-3 against the Cincinnati Loudreds, who are dead last in the Kanto League at 1-11. So you've got second. Atlanta's a game back of Pittsburgh for first. And you've got the last place team, Cincinnati. So come on with me, watch the game with me, and let's root for Cincinnati. How about that? Unless you're an Atlanta fan, I guess. But Cincinnati deserves a better fate. They've got a good lineup. They've got some decent pitching, and they've gotten unlucky in a lot of roles. So here we are, Cincinnati against Atlanta. Welcome into this channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you appreciate what we're doing and what I'm doing, and I just thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me a shot at entertaining you tonight or whenever you're watching this. Make sure if you like it to leave a thumbs up, a like, tell a friend, tweet it, follow me on Twitter, right? Let's see if I can do this without seeing it. Right there, RNGIDP_strat. Go ahead and follow me over there. I leave I post all the scorecards from the games and all the stats over on the Twitter side, so you can get a better feel and a better look at it. I know from this angle it's kind of hard to see the individual scorecard, and if you're into that kind of thing, well, go right ahead. It's over on the Twitter channel. Come chat with me over there, and if you're in the live chat, say hello. Tell me what you think, and we'll get this thing started here in a second. Well, we've got a pitching matchup of pitchers that have started the season off struggling a little bit. It will be Michael Pineda for Cincinnati. The Loudreds, throwing him out there. Let's take a look at his stats. Cincinnati's Michael Pineda has pitched in 11 innings. That's a 1-1 record. He's given up 14 hits in those 11 innings, 7 earned runs. He does have 13 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So he's got the strikeout pitch working. He's got some control, but maybe getting a little bit too much of the plate as he's given up 7 earned runs. And we'll take a look at the Atlanta Braviary lineup that will face him today. And so Atlanta, the manager for Atlanta, sees going to Cincinnati and that short right field fence as a chance to get some guys a breather, a blow per se. Their lineup hasn't been hitting all that well, even though they sit so high in the standings. And the Atlanta manager is taking this opportunity against the lowly Cincinnati Loudreds to let some guys ease their minds today. So it's going to be a basically completely new lineup. We've got 5 new starters in the lineup today. So this Atlanta lineup is shaken up, and we'll go through it here real quickly. Leading off will be Nori Aoki, who's had some pinch hit duty. He's got some speed off the bench usually, and Aoki has struggled in that role. He's 0 for 8. He's got a strikeout, and he's got a stolen base, so somehow he's gotten on base. Must have been a fielder's choice or something. But he has a stolen base on the season, but 0 for 8. So he's looking to lead it off with a little offense, and he is playing in left field. Angel Pagan is the center fielder, and he's batting second, the switch hitter. Angel Pagan is usually the go-to man off the bench for pinch hitting and fielding duty, and he's 1 for 9. He's got a home run, though. That one hit is a homer, a 3-run shot, 3 strikeouts and a walk for him. The normal everyday first baseman is in there, hitting third. That's the switch hitting Mark Teixeira. Mark Teixeira is looking to string some hits together. He's only hitting 196. He's got 4 bombs, though, out of his 9 hits, 7 RBI, 15 strikeouts for Teixeira. Nick Markakis has been Atlanta's best hitter. And Nick Markakis is hitting .362. That's 17 of 47. He's got 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 7 driven in. He's only got 8 strikeouts and 3 walks. So Markakis has been the star for Atlanta. Following him in the lineup, hitting 5th, is the left-handed second baseman Chase Utley. Chase Utley's hitting .159. He's the normal second baseman, so he's still out there in the lineup. He's moved up quite a few spots in the batting order today, though. He's got a couple of homers, and he leads the team with 8 driven in. Clint Barmas will be taking over at shortstop today. He's hitting 6th. Clint Barmas will be giving Troy Tulowitzki the day off. And Clint Barmas is hitting 1 for 2. So not very much work for him. He does have a walk, though. Austin Hedges is catching today, giving the everyday catcher Martin Maldonado a day off, who's struggling at the plate. And so Austin Hedges will be the batter today, or the catcher today. He's 1 for 1 on the season with an RBI. And the third baseman, another replacement, it will be Pete Kozma. Pete Kozma will be hitting right-handed and in the 8th spot. And he is hitting, 1 second, let me look at his numbers. Pete Kozma is hitting, he hasn't had an at-bat this year. He's 0 for 0. He does have a walk, though. So Pete Kozma looking to get some action here. And the pitcher will be Carlos Rodon, who's a lefty pitcher and a lefty hitter. And he's a weak hitting, 1-rated pitcher at the bat. And he'll be using the number 1 card. All right, so thank you for joining me here. Some late night strat. That's my hashtag I use on Twitter, hashtag late night strat. This is the time that I start really waking up. I get some alone time. The kids are in bed, the wife's in bed, and it's time for, I can either go play video games or I can hang out here with you guys and play some Strat-O-Matic baseball. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the series we have going and the league I have going. And Ken Castro is here in the chat. Welcome, Ken. We're about ready for first pitch here. Michael, I keep wanting to call him Miguel. I don't know why. Michael Pineda against Nori Aoki. Atlanta versus Cincinnati. Here we go. A little late night strat against the righty. It's a 110. And this one's hit over to the shortstop. That's Tejada. Tejada scoops it and has to make a quick throw with the speedy Aoki. And that's the first out of the inning. First out of the ball game. Michael Pineda now to Angel Pagan. He's batting left-handed. And it's a 6-10. This one's to the other side, over to Neil Walker at second base. He scoops and fires. And there's 2 down. Mark Teixeira looking to get over the 200 mark for his batting average. Will he be able to do it today against Michael Pineda? It's a 6-6. Not this time. He strikes him out. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Pineda. And that's good news for Cincinnati right off the bat, as they keep Atlanta off the board. And we move to the bottom of the first. Carlos Rodon is the pitcher for Cincinnati today. Carlos Rodon comes in with a 1-1 record in... Oh, nope, that's not it. Atlanta is the pitcher. He's pitching for Atlanta. And Carlos Rodon comes in with an 0-1 record in 8 1/3 innings. He's given up 14 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 5 walks. So he's been wild. And when he hasn't, he's gotten hit. So Atlanta, their pitching has been pretty good, but Rodon is towards the back end of the rotation. I believe he is fourth in the rotation, but behind Strasburg, Wood, Cozart, and only trailing Connolly in the rotation. So Rodon looking to right the ship here. And he'll be facing this Cincinnati lineup, which needs some good news today, especially from Billy Hamilton. Although I will say Billy Hamilton has raised his average recently, but it still sits at 173, and he'll be leading off today. He's got a homer, 5 RBIs, only 1 stolen base for Billy Hamilton. He just hasn't gotten on base enough. Hitting second will be Ichiro, the right fielder. Ichiro is 286. He's got a homer. That homer was big. I believe it was a 3-run shot against, I can't remember, but it was a big one late in a ball game. Neil Walker is the second baseman and hitting third. Neil Walker is hitting 119. Only 5 hits and 42 appearances. No doubles, no triples, no homers. Only 1 driven in, and he's hitting in third right now. David Ortiz hitting 308. He's been doing his part. The only one really on this team. He's got 3 doubles, a triple for the big man, 4 homers, and 9 RBIs. Those 4 homers and those 9 driven in both lead the team. David Freese is the 5th batter in the lineup, hitting in third base. And David Freese is hitting 262, 4 doubles, a homer, 11 strikeouts. Blake Swihart moves up in the lineup today. He's hitting 6th and playing for the injured Travis d'Arnaud. Blake Swihart has been getting a couple of starts even with d'Arnaud out there. He's hitting 5 for 28. A couple of doubles, a homer, and 3 driven in. Ruben Tejada is the shortstop. Ruben Tejada hitting 222. He started off the season higher up in the lineup. I believe he was 2nd or 3rd in the lineup, but he's dropped significantly, only hitting 222. No homers, and only 1 driven in. Jerry Sands is the left fielder. Jerry Sands is 8 for 29 in split duty with Cole Gillespie. Jerry Sands has a double, and that's pretty much it. Only 1 RBI. And the pitcher will be Michael Pineda hitting. He's a number 1 weak hitting right-handed pitcher, so he's using the number 1 card. And here we go, the bottom of the first. Carlos Rodon, the lefty, facing this Cincinnati lineup. And it's Billy Hamilton, who is a switch hitter, so he's hitting from the right-hand side. He pops this one up, gets under it, out to the shortstop. That's Clint Barmas out there today. And Barmas makes his first attempt. And there's 1 out. Just underway here from Cincinnati. Cincinnati kept Atlanta scoreless in the top half. Here we are in the bottom. And it's Ichiro against Carlos Rodon. And Ichiro hits one out to left. That's going to drop. And he is aboard with a single. So the old man Ichiro is aboard. And it will be Neil Walker hitting behind him. Ichiro is a B-stealer. So let's take a look at Austin Hedges, the catcher behind the plate. See a look at his arm. He's got a 0 arm, so it'll be a 1-10 if Ichiro was going to try and steal here. Carlos Rodon looks over. He's a lefty, so he's got his eye on him the whole time. Ichiro's got a nice lead, but he's not going anywhere. Neil Walker swings. It's a 9. He swings, and we'll see if he can get a hold of this one. A 1-4, and it's a triple, and he gets a hold of it. It rolls all the way to the wall, kicks around. It's a triple. Ichiro, who was dancing over there at first, was off with the hit. And he will score from first on the triple by Neil Walker. So that's just what Cincinnati needed, was a lead in a ball game. And Neil Walker grabs an RBI with a triple here in the bottom of the first. You hit him with an 8. That's what Neil Walker did. And Ichiro still has some good speed and able to round the bases off the triple. And now David Ortiz with a man on third. And will they pull the infield in here? In the bottom of the first, they're going to pull the infield in, trying to keep Neil Walker from scoring from third. It's a 2-9. A 2-9. Oh, man. David Ortiz gets a hold of this one. He's a left-handed batter. That's out to right field. A 1-19. It'll be gone. And that one is gone. So David Ortiz with the infield in. The infielders had to have double-checked their life insurance to see if they were up to date, because Ortiz smoked that one. Good thing it was over their head, because that could have hurt. And it's a 2-run shot here in the bottom of the first for David Ortiz. And it's a 3-0 ball game for Cincinnati. So Ortiz with a 2-run shot, 3-0. Only one out against Carlos Rodon, who's getting roughed up here in the bottom of the first. And it's been the lefties who have done the damage. Ichiro with a single. I guess the switch hitting Walker hitting from the right-hand side, tripled. And now David Ortiz with a homer. Will David Freese get a double to complete the cycle in this inning for the Cincinnati Loudreds? It's a 1-5, and David Freese walks. So Carlos Rodon shaken up here, and they're going to go to the mound for a visit. Austin Hedges, the fill-in catcher today, shaking his head as he walks to the mound, telling Carlos Rodon, "Hey man, let's get some pitches. Make some pitches here." The conference is over. The umpire walks back behind the plate. Hedges is back in his crouch, and now there's a man on first in David Freese with the catcher switch-hitting Blake Swihart up to bat. And Swihart looks at the pitch, hits against the lefty, and he hits it to shortstop. That's at Barmas. Barmas over to Utley, back over to first. That's Teixeira. It's a 6-4-3 double play, and that's just what Rodon needed. And I guess the conference out at the mound gave him a little pep talk, and he's able to get the next man up to double up into a double play. And that will end the bottom of the first, but not before Cincinnati breaks it open and scores three. 3 straight hits from Ichiro, Neil Walker, and David Ortiz. The big shot being a 2-run bomb from Ortiz. And we move to the top of the second. Already some action here. Atlanta, the 9-3 Atlanta Braviary, trailing the lousy and lowly Cincinnati Loudreds 3-0 here. Michael Pineda. I'm going to call him that all night, so I'm sorry. It's Michael, but for some reason I have it in my head that his name is Miguel. So we're just going to go with that. Hopefully you know who I'm talking about. So Michael Pineda against Nick Markakis. And this could be a single. Hits it out to the second baseman. Will it get under his glove? It will. That's just a hot shot. A worm burner that sneaks under the glove of Neil Walker. And Markakis, their best hitter so far, is aboard with a single here to lead off the top of the second. Chase Utley's aboard. He's a B hitting runner. They're not holding Markakis. He's an E stealer. Chase Utley's not going to be hitting running. And he's here against Pineda. It's a 5-9, and he strikes out. So Pineda, as we looked at his stats before the game, we know he's got the strikeout pitch working in this series. In this season, I should say. And he gets a big one there. Now there's one out, and Clint Barmas is the man at bat. He started the double play in the bottom of this first. This is a 5-6, and he strikes out. So Pineda gives up a leadoff single, but then comes back to strike out Utley and Barmas, and now with 2 down, Austin Hedges will be the man at bat. Austin Hedges, the catcher, he's a 2-10. He hits this one out to third base. That's David Freese out there. Freese tosses it over to Ortiz, and that's the third out. So after the leadoff single, Atlanta can't get anything going, and they remain scoreless. And we move to the bottom of the second. It's a 3-0 ball game. Cincinnati with the lead. Carlos Rodon makes his way back out there after being roughed up a little bit in the first, and he will be facing Tejada, Sands, and Pineda, the 7, 8, 9 batters in the lineup. It's a 4-5, and Rodon gets the strikeout on Ruben Tejada. Well, that's what he needed, was a quick first out. That's the first strikeout for him of the day, and maybe that gets him back on track. Carlos Rodon now faces Jerry Sands. Jerry Sands is a pretty good hitter against lefties. We'll see if we can hit that 2 column at any point today. But this is a 5-6, and a 5-6 is a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Rodon. Maybe he found something at the dugout, looking at the game film. Maybe he found something with his release, and he's got 2 strikeouts now, battling back. And now he's got the pitcher with nobody out. It's a 6-7. A 6-7 is going to be out to second base. That's Chase Utley out there. And we rolled a 14. And Chase Utley is a... Wait a minute. Yeah. So Chase Utley is a 4-range second baseman. A 4-14 is just going to be enough. Chase Utley makes a diving grab, throws it from a knee, and Michael Pineda is out at first. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Rodon, who maybe has learned from his mistake in the first. And we go to the third. It's a 3-0 ball game. Cincinnati in command here. Michael Pineda taking a little bit a little longer to walk to the mound after having to run out that grounder to first. He catches his breath, and he will face Pete Kozma, the pitcher Rodon, and then the top of the order with Nori Aoki. Here he is against Kozma, the righty, in hitting at third base today. And Pineda throws a nice pitch, and that's a strikeout. That's strikeout number 4, and the first out here in the top of the third. So Pineda has that strikeout pitch working so far. And here he is to Rodon, and he strikes him out too. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the top half of the third. And Pineda is working quickly here. This is against Nori Aoki back to the top of the lineup. It's a 3-10. Oh, he hits that one. Will it get it? Find the gap. A 1-12 it will. We roll a 4, and that goes rolling. And Aoki with his wheels is at second base, standing up. So a 2-out double for Aoki in his surprise start today. And he's aboard for the switch hitting Angel Pagan. Steve is here. Ken is here. Welcome to the RNGIDP channel. We're just getting underway here. We're on the top of the third. Cincinnati has the surprise 3-0 lead on the second in the standings Atlanta Braviary. And a man aboard for Atlanta, though. He's on second. 2 down here. Angel Pagan at bat. Will he be able to bring him home? This is a 2-9. Not this time. He strikes out to end the inning. So Aoki extended the inning with a double with 2 down, but Angel Pagan is the 6th strikeout victim for Pineda today, and that will end the threat here in the top of the third. Atlanta remains scoreless. And we move to the bottom half, and Carlos Rodon, the lefty, will face the top of the order with Hamilton, Ichiro, and Neil Walker. Hamilton popped up to the shortstop last time. This time against the lefty, that's a 3-8, and Hamilton's aboard. That's a single straight up the middle. And you've got Speed aboard now with nobody down. He's a double-A stealer, and Ichiro is up to bat. Hamilton, with his double-A stealing, that's a 1-17. They're obviously going to hold him. It's a 1-15. Austin Hedges, we looked before, but let's double check. He is a 0. So that'll be a 1-15, and Billy Hamilton is getting itchy. Al Red Sox fan is just in time here to see Billy Hamilton getting a big, big lead. Carlos Rodon looking at him, staring him down, trying to wait patiently to see if Hamilton is going to go. And there he goes. Hamilton is off with the pitch. Before the pitch is thrown, it is a 14, so Hamilton gets in there just barely under the tag. He steals second base. That's his second stolen base of the year. And now Ichiro has a man on second with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Now this is a 2-8. A 2-8. This one's a fly ball hit to left field. The left fielder, Nori Aoki, today, he makes the grab and throws it in, and Hamilton is stuck at second. I see you guys talking about snow out in the Northeast. They're getting some snow, aren't they? We missed it here. Here in Colorado, you know, we have our fair share of snow every year, and we have barely had any. I don't think even in December it has snowed one time this year. Send some our way here in Colorado. I mean, I don't like it. I don't really like driving in it, but I like looking at it, and it's weird not having any so far here in Colorado. But stay safe out there, out in New England. My brother just moved back here from Connecticut, and now he's in California for the weekend. And I'm sure he's out on the beach, not missing the snow for sure. All right, Neil Walker here, one on, one out, and he is hitting against the lefty. He's batting right-handed. It's a 6-6. That's hit over to the third baseman. That's Pete Kozma. He looks back the runner, which is Hamilton, to second, tosses it over to first, and now there's two down. So it'll be the big man, David Ortiz, again. Ortiz hit a two-run shot in the first inning, and he's got an RBI out there waiting for him at second base, and Billy Hamilton. They're going to pitch to him. It's a 6-5. A 6-5. This one's hit out to the shortstop. Today, that's Clint Barmas. Clint Barmas is going to have to go deep in the hole to make a play. Will he be able to do it? He's a shortstop 3. A 311. It's going to his E rating. It's an E23. We roll a 6. He makes the snag, but he jumps and throws, and it's a wild throw. And so Ortiz is able to reach on the error by Barmas. Billy Hamilton over at third. Luckily, the catcher was backing up the play, grabs it quickly off the wild throw, and Billy Hamilton has to stay at third base. So now there's men at the corners for David Freese, and poor Carlos Rodon thought he was out of the inning, but Clint Barmas with a nice play to get to it, but makes a wild throw over at first, and David Ortiz is aboard to extend the inning here. 2 down, 2 on. David Freese, the batter. It's a 5-9. A 5-9. Oh, no. This could come back to hurt him. Carlos Rodon with a meatball, and David Freese gets a hold of it. A 1-7. It's a homer. And it's out to the wall. Hits off the wall, and that will be a double. It's a double for Freese. And Billy Hamilton will score from third easily. David Ortiz makes his way to third, but he's going to have to hold there. And that's an RBI for David Freese as Billy Hamilton comes around to score. And so Cincinnati gets another run. That one is an unearned run, but it counts all the same. And Rodon doesn't look happy about it either way. Just missed a homer. Blake Swihart now. And Rodon just trying to do anything he can to get out of this inning. 2 outs here. But 2 men have reached with 2 outs. And this is a 6-7. A 6-7. This one's hit to second base. That is Utley over there. Utley, we rolled a 9. He's going to have to make a good play to try and get out of it. He's a second base 4. A 4-9 is going to his E rating. He's an E15, and we roll a 4. E15 and a 4, and Chase Utley boots it. Utley had a decent read on it. It wasn't hit that hard, but Utley boots it. It doesn't get away from him too far, so only advancing 1 base will be Ortiz. He's heading home. Freese makes it to third. And Atlanta, with their makeshift lineup today, are booting the ball all around the infield. And they may have to go to their bench just to try and preserve a win here. So Barmas with an error, and now Utley with an error. The middle of the infield is struggling, and it's a 5-0 ball game. And Cincinnati, maybe they get a win today. Maybe all they needed was to play a good team to step up to the occasion. There's still 2 men on here. Ortiz reached on an error, and he scored. Freeze doubled, and now Swihart reached on an error. And here we go, Ruben Tejada. Ruben Tejada with a 4-7, and that's a walk. So Rodon not getting any help in the infield, and now he's hurting himself, and he walks. The bases loaded. And this will be Jerry Sands. Hedges coming to the mound to chat. Cincinnati would be better in the AL. Yes, they have Poppy and Justin Bauer, and really, it's unfortunate because both of them are left-handed and both only carded for first base. So it's really hard to get both of them to play. But right now, we're bases loaded. Jerry Sands is the batter. Nowhere to put him. The pitcher behind him, but they can't pitch around him. So Carlos Rodon, the catcher, back under the plate, looking for the pitch. This is a 6-10. A 6-10, and Carlos Rodon with a strikeout, a big-time strikeout. And Jerry Sands is disappointed. He struck out for the second time now against Rodon. That's only the 3rd strikeout of the day, and that will end the inning. But boy, what an inning that was. The end of the 3rd. 2 more runs plated in, both of them unearned. And Rodon is not looking so happy about that. The Cubs to Bears, welcome. Al Red Sox fan, I believe I said hey, but hey again if I didn't. Ken, Steve, all chatting it up live in the live stream. Happy to have you here. Happy that you guys are here and hope you're enjoying. Michael Pineda here in the top of the 4th against Mark Teixeira. It's a 3-6, and Mark Teixeira doing his part, leading off with a walk. Just need batters, just need runners aboard. We saw that in last night's game. All you need is guys aboard, and who knows what will happen. Nick Markakis is now the batter. He singled his first time up. Here he is against Michael Pineda. It's a 4-6. This one's hit out to center field. That's Billy Hamilton. We know he's a good fielder, and he can get to anywhere. And he strides over, and he makes the play. Teixeira stays at first. All right, Miguel Pineda to Chase Utley, who trying to make up for that error in the field. This is well, maybe he's trying too hard. He hits it a mile high, and it's out to shortstop. That will be Tejada underneath it, and there's 2 down. Clint Barmas now committed an error himself in that last inning, and this one is a strikeout. So not helping in the field, and now not helping at bat. Clint Barmas has struck out twice now. And that's the 7th strikeout of the day for Pineda, and he's just working quickly here now. Knowing he's got he's got some runs on the other side, he can feel it. But Cincinnati has blown games in the past before. This one's not over yet. Atlanta's bench, let's look at their bench, at their normal starters here. They've got Ozuna, Jackie Bradley, Troy Tulowitzki, Chase Headley, Martin Maldonado, Bobby Wilson on the bench. So they've got some pop on the bench to go to. And they might do it here if they can't scratch through some runs. Trying to get some guys some rest today, and it's backfired. And will they pull the plug early on this experiment? Rodon back out there. This one is to the pitcher. Pineda grounds one to the shortstop. That's Barmas. He makes the play this time. And there's 1 down. The hometown Cincinnati gives Barmas a jeer as he makes the play. And it will be the leadoff man, Billy Hamilton, his third time up to bat. He singled his last time and stole second. Here he is against Rodon. It's a 1-8. He hits this one out to center. Pagan is under it, and he makes the catch. There's 2 down. The Cubs to Bears says, you do a great job. I don't always join the chat, but I've seen many of my games. My calls are smooth and enjoyable. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you want to just sit back and listen, I hope I do a good enough job that I can paint the picture for all those guys that just listen. I know Higher Ground Gaming, he does that, or I believe he does that. Maybe it was somebody else. Al Red Sox Fan has done that too. So thank you guys for even just having it on and listening. Ichiro now with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 2-5. This one's over to the shortstop. That's Clint Barmas, and he makes the nice play. It's not a gimme with him, but he made 2 plays that inning, both of them successful, and the 4th inning comes and goes pretty quickly. Nothing doing here. We go to the 5th, and it's a 5-0 ball game. Miguel, Pineda, cruising along here. He's retired. Well, I guess he walked the leadoff man, but seems like he's been working quickly and working effectively. Austin Hedges now. It's a 5-2, and there's another strikeout. So the strikeout pitch working, and it's 8 strikeouts now for Pineda. The number 8 batter, Pete Kozma, who struck out in the first time he was up in the 3rd. And here he is. It's a 5-7. He doesn't strike out this time. He gets a hold of it. Will it get to the wall? No, it won't. That's a single out to center field. Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton gets out there quickly and keeps him to a single. So the pitcher, that would be Rodon. Rodon with a man on. Are they going to go to their bench? They are. Rodon had a tough day, not all of his fault, but they're going to have to go get him. And they're going to start using that bench. It will be Jackie Bradley Jr., the pinch hitter here in the 5th. Rodon only makes it 4 innings. And Jackie Bradley Jr. will be the left fielder. Here in the 4th. All right. So this is a 1-11. A 1-11. He hits it to first base. The first baseman, Ortiz, who fumbles it just slightly. His only play is going to be to first. Cosmo was off with the off on the crack of the bat at first, and he will make it to second. And Jackie Bradley is out. So Bradley hit it to the one spot in the defense that's not the greatest, and that's David Ortiz at first. He bobbled it slightly, and he can't make the double play turn. But they get the second out, so now there's a man at second, and it will be Aoki, who doubled his last time up. It's a 110. This one's hit out to the shortstop. That's Tejada. He's sure-handed. He throws it over to first, and there's 3 down. So Pineda gives up a hit, but nothing else, and he's through 5 scoreless. And now we'll have to find a new pitcher for Carlos Rodon and the Atlanta Braviary. Let's look at their bullpen, see what they have. They're going to go to the long man, Jose Urena. They're going to get the long man out of the bullpen, and it will be Jose Urena. We'll get his numbers for the year in a minute. But let's take a look at Rodon. Urena is a righty. Rodon, he went 4 innings. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned. He struck out 3, and he walked only 2. But his day is cut short, partly because of that defense, and hopefully Clint Barmas will buy him a beer after the game. Jose Urena for Atlanta. Let's look at his numbers this year. He's pitched in 7 2/3 innings. He's got a win to his name so far this year. He's given up 13 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And here he is in the bottom of the 5th. He will face the 3, 4, 5 batters of Walker, Ortiz, and Freeze. Walker, in the first, had a triple. And that's his only hit so far of the day. He's batting left-handed now for the first time. And this is a 5-6. Well, he gets a hit here. How far will it roll? And that's a double. It was a 6-20 double. And we rolled a 16. So Neil Walker is halfway to the cycle. The 2 hard ones, well, not the 2 hardest, but he's got a triple and a double. The hardest one, the triple, is out of the way. So a few more at bats, and maybe we're on cycle watch here. David Ortiz is 1 for 2 today. Reached on an error and has a homer. Ortiz with some power in that bat against the righty or Urena. This is a 4-7, a 4-7. This one could be a single. Hit over to the first baseman. That's Teixeira. It's a single under his glove. It's only a 1-star single, so Walker had to pause briefly. He's over to third and has to stay there. But now there's men at the corners. Urena not doing much to help out Atlanta. And now there's first and third with nobody out. David Freeze up. David Freeze is 1 for 1 with a walk, a double, and an RBI. And here he is with 2 men out there. It's a grounder to short. We have the infield back, hoping for the double play. We rolled a 15, but I knocked the die over, so I can't show you. There it is. So it's a out to the shortstop. Guess who? Clint Barmas. Can Clint Barmas make the play here to turn the double play, or will it be another error? He's a shortstop 3. It's a 15. A 15. So Barmas goes into the hole. And the only play he's going to be able to make is to get Ortiz, the slow-running Ortiz, at second. That's the first out. They can't complete the double play. Freeze makes it to first. And the run at third will score. So Neil Walker will score from third. And there's another run. And that's another RBI for David Freeze. That's his second one of the day. And Blake Swihart now with David Freeze on first. And here we go. Blake Swihart against the righty Jose Urena. And this is a 2-4. This one is out to second base. And Utley this time is able to wheel, turn to Barmas over to Teixeira. And that's a 4-6-3 double play. So big time double play needed there. If Atlanta's going to have any chance. And that will end the inning in the 5th. But they do scratch out one more run off a fielder's choice from David Freeze. And now it's a 6-0 ball game. And Atlanta batting here in the top of the 6th against the pitcher Michael Pineda. Higher Ground Gaming here in the chat. Welcome in, guys. It looks like we've got dominated by Massachusetts folks or New England folks here in the chat. I love it. So a 5-9, to that will be the shortstop. So this is Tejada. Will he show Barmas how to field? Tejada is a 3-range shortstop, so he's the same as Barmas. But let's see. A 3-19. That will be a smooth-looking play for Tejada, and gives a wink over to Barmas in the dugout. And there's one out here on the top of the 6th. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, 0 for 1 with a walk today. He struck out and walked. And here he is from the left-hand side. This one's out to center field. Center fielder is Billy Hamilton. He's on his horse. Will he be able to make the play and get there in time? Center field 1. We roll a 4. You know he will. He's got plenty of speed. And he makes the sure-handed grab. There's 2 down. Nick Markakis. Nick Markakis with nobody on. Michael Pineda working quickly here. It's a 2-7. Well, Markakis doing what he does. He singles here, and he's got his second hit of the ball game. Good night, Higher Ground. Thanks for stopping in. Stay safe out in the snow. Chase Utley, 1 on, 2 outs. And the lefty against Michael Pineda. And the 1 black ink in that 5 column against the lefty, and he found it. How hard will he hit it? Oh, yes, he hits it well. Out into the outfield in the gap. That's a double. So Utley, after making that bad error, has made a double play, and now he's got a double. Markakis, not a great runner, and he has to stop at third off the double 2-star. But now you've got men at second and third with Clint Barmas, the batter. And Clint Barmas they've seen enough of him today. And they're going to go get Troy Tulowitzki. Tried to give him a day off, but it's not working out. And so the righty Troy Tulowitzki will come in. I guess he got half a game off. And Troy Tulowitzki with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th will be the pinch hitter. He'll stay in the game and play shortstop as well. And will he be able to drive in the men at second and third? It's a 3-6. He gets a hold of it, but just underneath it. And he pops it up to the shortstop. And Tejada with a play out at short. I guess you could call it short left field. And he makes the grab, and Tulowitzki can't be clutch enough. And we had that problem with him here in Colorado. The times when we needed him in the clutch, he disappointed. And that's part of the reason why he got traded. Well, here we are in the bottom of the 6th. Jose Urena continues against the hitter Tejada, the 7-hitter. He'll face Tejada, Sands, and Pineda. Will they keep Pineda in with this large lead? We'll see. It's a 4-4. This one's a catcher X. The catcher is Austin Hedges. Austin Hedges is a 2-range catcher. So we go to the catcher's card, a 220. Catcher gets out of his crouch quickly. Tejada hits it behind the plate. And Hedges makes a nice running grab behind the backstop. And that is a foul out. And that's the first out of the inning. So Jerry Sands, Cincinnati with a 6-0 lead here. Cincinnati's only scored 34 runs on the season. And they've got 6 here. This is a 4-6. A 4-6 for Jerry Sands. This could be trouble. Is it a 1-16? It is. And there's a single. So Jerry Sands is aboard. His first hit of the day. He struck out twice before that. And now, Michael Pineda, he's the man up to bat. Here in the 6th, will he bat? They're going to let him swing away. It's a 6-7, a 6-7. Oh, Michael Pineda throws his bat out there. Will he get a hit? He does. He throws his bat out, loops one out to center field. And the center fielder, Pagan, got a late break on it. And so Sands able to move to third. So Michael Pineda helping himself with a single. And Sands moves over to third. So everything turning up roses for Pineda today. He's aboard with a hit. 1 out here. And Billy Hamilton is the batter. Billy Hamilton's 1 for 3. He's got a stolen base. And he will face the righty, Jose Arena. And this one's hit out to shortstop. Wouldn't you know it, Tulowitzki's first chance of the day. He makes the nice throw over to Utley, who makes the strong throw to first to Shera. And they're able to double up the speedster, Billy Hamilton. And bringing in Tulowitzki, I guess, was the right choice. He made the nice turn, threw it right to Utley, right where he needed it. And Pineda's out at second. And Hamilton was the 3rd out of the inning. So, Pineda, maybe they are getting some breaks here today. I know we started a backup lineup for Atlanta. Maybe they got a little too cocky trying to take an extra day off here. They've got 2 days off in the 30 that we have scheduled, the 30 days. They were trying to buy an extra day off here, and it hasn't worked out. But here's Pineda against the catcher, Hedges. It's a 4-3. This is a fly ball out to right. That will be Ichiro out there. Ichiro is a 2-ranged right fielder. And the 4. So a 2-4 is just going to get there. Ichiro with a nice grab. And Austin Hedges thought he had a hit. But Ichiro takes a hit away. Who else is on the Cincinnati pitching staff? Here, have a look. The rotation is McHugh, Waka, Ross, Pineda, and Montgomery. They had Raisel Iglesias as a long man, but we didn't have a carded second baseman. There was, so we had to make a trade. So Iglesias went to Toronto, and Neil Walker came to Cincinnati. And their back end of their bullpens is not terrible. They've got Kelvin Herrera, Francisco Rodriguez, Jeanmar Gomez. So they've got some pitching. They just haven't really had a chance to show it. So here we are. Pete Kozma, the batter now. 1 out, the top of the 7th. Pete Kozma singled his last time up. He struck out also in his other appearance. And this one's hit hard, but right to the third baseman, Freeze. And that's the 2nd out. And with the pitcher's spot due up again, they're going to the bullpen. And Chase Headley will be the pinch hitter. Chase Headley is the normal everyday center fielder. And he will pinch hit here. In the 7th. So 2 down against Michael Pineda. Chase Headley with a 1-2, a 1-2. Oh, unfortunate. It's a strikeout. So that's the first strikeout in the last 11 batters for Pineda, but that's his 9th one of the day. And we move to the stretch. Here in the middle of the 7th, Atlanta, who have scored only 47 runs so far this season, so not the most. They've got some batting issues. And they're showing their heads here today against a good pitcher in Michael Pineda. I told you I'm going to keep calling him that all day. I don't know why I keep doing it. So Urena got pinch hit for, so they're going to have to go to the bullpen. And looking at Atlanta's bullpen against the lefty, switch hitter, and the lefty, they're going to go get a lefty themselves. And they will bring out, let's see, they could get Tony Sipp. So Tony Sipp will be the man to pitch here. Yeah. Umps noticed Pineda has a little pine tar in his cheek. Yeah, he might. He shouldn't have gotten a hit there. So with Ichiro, the switch hitter Walker, and Ortiz up, they're going to the lefty, and it will be Tony Sipp. I'll get you his numbers here in a minute. But Urena went 2 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He didn't strike out anybody, and he didn't walk anybody either. So 2 decent innings of work. He did give up a run, but Tony Sipp now will take over, the lefty. And Tony Sipp has worked in 6 2/3 innings. He's got a victory to his name. No hits in those 6 2/3, no runs, 9 strikeouts, and no walks. So pretty much as good as you could be coming out of the bullpen, Tony Sipp has been. And he will pitch here in the bottom of the 7th. And I dropped my die. And there it is. Okay. Sorry for that. I had to stretch here in the stretch to get that die. All right, here we go. So, Tony Sipp against Ichiro. It's a 1-6. This one's hit back to Sipp, and he grabs it, takes his time, and throws it over to first. And there's 1 out. Neil Walker hitting from the right-hand side. Doubled and tripled, and I almost dropped that die again. Doubled and tripled, and he's reached on, or actually he grounded out to third once too. And here he is against the lefty. It's a 6-10. He hits this one out to shortstop. Tulowitzki busy out there since he's come in. He handles this one nicely. No problem. And throws out Walker at first. Yeah, I really did have to stretch. It ended up under my chair, and I couldn't find it. It was the same purple die that I had to catch too, on the other game that just jumped out of my hand, and I had to make a grab. David Ortiz now against the lefty. It's a 4-12. A 4-12. Ortiz gets a hold of this one, but out to left field. Aoki fielding his position well today. And he makes the grab. So Sipp works a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th, as he's been known to do. And that's just what Atlanta needed to get something going. And Pineda will face the top of the order. This is the 4th time through the order. Will they be able to solve him here? He's in the 8th. And it's Aoki. Aoki with one of the hits off of him. It's a 4-10. This one is a ballpark single chance, a 1-6, and it will be a single. It's an 11, so he hits it just too hard. This one's over to the shortstop, Tejada, who's been having a nice game defensively. And that is the first out of the top of the 8th here. So Pagan, will they let Pagan hit again? He's 0 for 3 today. No, they're going to bring out Marcell Ozuna. So they're bringing out their everyday center fielder. And it will be Ozuna, the righty. Just looking for any kind of spark. And will Ozuna here with 1 out be able to provide any of it? Off of Michael Pineda. It's a 6-8. A 6-8. Well, he will. A 1-3. It's a triple. A 4-20. It's a double. He gets a hold of it, and it's into the gap. The center fielder Hamilton's over to it quickly, but Ozuna, with his good speed, is still able to make it to second under the tag. And Ozuna with a double. And I guess they made the right call going to Ozuna, even though the chat was hoping for Pagan to get another at-bat. Ozuna doubles in front of Teixeira. And a Teixeira batting left-handed here. He's got a shot at a single. 1-5, it's a single. Nope, not this time. Hits it over to first. The first baseman takes a look at Ozuna at first, but is able to grab and make the play. And so that's the second out of the inning. Teixeira grounds out 3-1. And now it'll be up to Nick Markakis to drive home the run against Pineda. Markakis is 2 for 3 today. A couple of singles. A single here and will probably score a run. It's a 1-10. A 1-10. He hits this one back to Pineda. Pineda able to scoop it up. As he dropped it, he scoops it, and he tosses it over to first. So that is the end of the 8th. And they started to get a little rally going. Osuna pinch hit double, but Pineda shut it down quickly. And now we move to the bottom of the 8th. The lefty Sip, he did his job. He's coming out of the ball game. They're going to the righty. That will be Pedro Villarreal. So Atlanta doing all they can to try and keep this one close. The bats just haven't woken up today. And maybe Atlanta, maybe what we're seeing is they were living a lie here at the top of the standings. Their offense has been exposed. And if they're not getting stellar pitching, then they can't do anything. So Sip, he went an inning and zeros across the board. Sip has been a great surprise for this team. I really didn't know who he was, but he's come out of the bullpen, and now he's 7 2/3 innings during the season and not giving up a hit. And Villarreal now. Villarreal will come out, and on the year, Villarreal has pitched in 9 2/3 innings, no record, 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. So he's been pretty effective. He has been hit for a couple of runs, but in 9 2/3, that's not terrible. So David Freese, Blake Swihart, and Ruben Tejada are the due-up against the righty Villarreal. It's a 4-8. This one's a fly ball hit to the new center fielder, and doesn't it work out like that every single time we bring in a new fielder? Every single time, it seems like the first batter hits one to him. Osuna makes the play, and there's one down. This is the switch hitting catcher, Blake Swihart. That's a chance for a single. 1-6 it will be. It's a 9, so he hits it over to second. Just too hard. Stays up, and that's the second out. So Villarreal with 2 quick down here. And Ruben Tejada, who's been a wizard out in the field today. Can he do it at the plate? He's 0 for 2. He does have a walk, though. And this is a 2-2. Well, he hits this one, a looping fly ball out to left field. And Tejada is aboard with a single. So Tejada is aboard for the left fielder, Jerry Sands. Jerry Sands has struck out twice, but his last time up, he singled, made it all the way to third off a hit by the pitcher, Pineda. Couldn't come home to score. Here he is again, 2 down here, facing Pedro Villarreal here in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 1-10. A 1-10, he hits this one to left field. Aoki gliding over and makes the grab to end the inning. And this will be going to the top of the 9th. The score is 6-0. And maybe Sands making that out saved Pineda a chance at a shutout. Would they have pinch hit for him? I don't know. They probably would give him a chance to get the shutout. But we'll never know now. Pineda will face the 5, 6, 7 batters. That's Utley, Troy Tulowitzki now, and Austin Hedges if they let Hedges bat. And the lefty Chase Utley digs in. This is a 3-9. A 3-9, he hits it out to left field. That's Jerry Sands out there, the left fielder. Trots over, and he makes the first out of the 9th inning here. 2 more outs for Atlanta to get anything done. Just nothing has really come together for them today against the worst team in the KL, Cincinnati. Troy Tulowitzki now. That's a 6-8, so this one is a hit. How far will it go? 1-3, it's a triple. That one is a double, so Tulowitzki into the ball game, and he's got a double with 1 out. How far of a leash will they give Pineda? Well, they've let him try and get the shutout, so you would think they probably would leave him out there until he gives up a run, I guess. Steve is kind of cheering for Cincinnati. Yeah, I am too. I'd like to see him at least get a 1 win here. So, Austin Hedges is 0 for 3 today. They're going to go to the bench and bring out the everyday catcher, and that's Martin Maldonado. with one out here, Martin Maldonado will pinch hit. The manager of Atlanta has done everything he could to try and get some runs on the board. Just hasn't worked out. And Maldonado with a man on second. This is a 3-7. 3-7. He hits it over to the shortstop. That's Tejada. Tejada looks back the the runner at second. And there's 2 down now. So they're down to their last out, and it will be Pete Kozma. Pete Kozma, there's only one man left on the bench. That's the backup catcher, Bobby Wilson. So they got to let Pete Kozma, who's 1 for 3 today, hit. Man on second, 2 down. Miguel Pineda trying for the shutout. This one is hit a mile high, but that's out to the shortstop, and of course it is Ruben Tejada. Ruben Tejada smacks his glove, taps it a couple of times, and he makes the grab. And that will be the ball game. And Cincinnati is celebrating like they just won the World Series. And maybe they have in their minds. They have shut out the second team in the standings, the Atlanta Braviary. The Atlanta Braviary come into Cincinnati and get shut out against a 1-11 team. And didn't expect this one tonight. And I'm surprised as you are that this one happened. Atlanta tried to sneak in a couple of guys that hadn't had much playing time. And it bit them. And maybe they won't do that again. But they tried it. It didn't work. I'm happy that you guys were here to witness it. And happy you guys were chatting it here in the live stream. If you're watching after the fact, thanks for watching here too. I care about you guys just as much. And if you guys have any comments, be sure to leave them down on the stream. Were you expecting this? I wasn't. But make sure you leave a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter right there. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Let me check and see who the game is tomorrow. I've been wanting to tell you guys this at the end of the streams, who the game will be. We will have Washington against Los Angeles. Washington will pitch Hideki Iwakuma against Los Angeles with Gonzalez. I believe that's Miguel Gonzalez on the mound for them. And that should be a good one tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and compile these stats here. If you want to stay with me, that's cool. If you're out and you want to leave me a like on your way out, I appreciate that. Al's checking out. The Cubs to Bears. My name pronunciations are spot on. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I work in the communications business, and I'm glad that that is coming through on the stream. So I appreciate you guys saying that, and all the feedback is much appreciated. The Loudreds get the victory here. It's a 6-0 ball game. The errors for Atlanta proved costly. 2 of them. None for Cincinnati. Let's count the hits. Atlanta had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits for Atlanta. Let's get Michael Pineda's line. He went 9 innings. He gave up 7 hits. No runs, no earned runs. He struck out a total of 9 batters. And how many did he walk? There's only one walk to 9 strikeouts, getting the win. Pedro Villarreal, he went an inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, struck out nobody, and didn't walk anybody. Carlos Rodon gets the tough luck loss, 3 earned runs, only after 2 of those unearned. So Pineda, he moves his record to, he is 2-1 now, and the loss goes to Rodon, and he is now 0-2 on the season. So that'll be it. Now let's count the hits actually for Cincinnati. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits for the Loudreds. Well, that'll do it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Ken Castro, That'll be he's asking Al if he's gonna have another fight tonight. I gotta go watch Al's fight that he had tonight. I was looking forward to that, but I didn't get to do that before the stream tonight. So that's it for me. Thank you guys. Follow me on Twitter, leave a like, and you guys are the best, man. You really are. So have a good night. Take care.